Hello everyone, this is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Take Journey with Ankit. This is part 4 of our platform event series. In the previous part, we already discussed what is platform event, how to publish the events on the event bus. We also discussed what is the concept of Apex publish callback. In this part, we will discuss about what all the different options available on the Salesforce platform to subscribe the platform event. So let's get started with the today's topic by going over the agenda for this session. So the first thing that we'll be discussing is the recap of the previous session. After that, we will discuss about what all the different options available on the Salesforce platform to subscribe the platform event. And next to that, we will explore each and every option in detail. And I will close this session with the demo part. So let's have a quick recap what we have understood from the previous session. As I have already highlighted in the previous session, platform event is a product of a streaming API. It works on the event driven architecture where the different systems will publish an event to the event bus by using the platform event, and different systems can subscribe to the event bus again by using the platform event. So with the help of platform event, you cannot only publish the events but also you can subscribe to the events on the event bus. In the last parts, we also discussed that on the Salesforce platform, we can publish the events by using the Apex flows as well as with the help of APIs, right? And in the part 3, we discussed that whenever we are publishing the events on the event bus, it is an asynchronous process. So whatever the immediate result that we are getting from publishing is the result of queue. In case we have to check whether my event has been successfully published on the event bus or not, right? Or we have to validate whether my publish operation is successful or it is not successful, then you have to use the concept of Apex publish callback. Then you have to use the concept of Apex publish callback, right? So this is what we have learned in the previous parts. We went over each and every topic with the proper demo. I do recommend folks, if you are directly jumping to this video, make sure that you have already finished the previous parts as well, so that this video will make sense more to you. Now, let's go and start exploring the different options available on the Salesforce platform to publish the event. So to subscribe the events. To subscribe the events, we can do that with the help of flows. We can do that with the help of Apex triggers, and also we can subscribe to the platform events by using the Lightning Web Components as well. So on Salesforce platform, we do have three different options to subscribe to the platform event. One is by using the flow, second one is by using the Apex, and third one is by using the Lightning Web Component. So first, let's go and talk about how you can subscribe to the platform event using the flows. So while creating the flow, there is a special type of flow available that will ask you to create or to create the platform event flow. So what you have to do here is whenever you are launching a flow, right, you have to make sure that you are selecting that type of a flow. And after that, what will happen here is on your flow, you have to go and select to which platform event you want to subscribe with the help of the flow. So what will happen if you are subscribing to the event with the help of the flow, as soon as the event is received on the platform on the event bus, as you are subscribing it with the help of the flow, your flow will automatically invoke, and whatever the automations that you have put on your flow, everything will execute, right? So you can automatically launch a flow whenever a platform event message is received by subscribing to the platform event using the flow. So this is the first approach of subscribing to the platform event. Now the next approach that we do have here is we can also subscribe to the platform event using the triggers as well. But key things whenever you are subscribing to the platform event using trigger is you can only subscribe with the help of you can only subscribe it with the help of you can only subscribe it in the after insert trigger. You cannot subscribe this in any other trigger. You have to make sure that you are using here the after insert trigger. Again, I am repeating, whenever you are subscribing the event, you have to make sure that you are subscribing it in the after insert event. right? Here on the S object, you have to put the event name, and here you have to go and use the trigger event as the after insert event. You cannot use any other events like the before update or after update or before insert. You cannot use all those events, right? With platform event, you have to make sure that you are using only the after insert event here. Next point here to take a note here is your trigger. It will also run asynchronously, right? Your trigger, it will run asynchronously. But the key point here is, as although my trigger is running here asynchronously, but all the synchronous limits will be applied to the platform event trigger, right? On the governor limits part, we do have the governor limits divided into two. One is referred as the synchronous limits and another one is referred as the asynchronous limits, right? But in the case of platform event, if you are subscribing to the platform event, although my platform event will be running asynchronously, but the limits that will be applied here is the synchronous limits. Next point here is your trigger also runs in the automated process entity. In the previous parts also I discussed in very detail, right? Whenever we are working on the platform event, by default we do have the automated process entity. So it is our job basically to assign the correct owner to the record or to the operations that you are performing, right? Either to the owner ID or to the last modified ID. It's your job that you go and populate the correct user ID here, because otherwise the default user here will be the automated process user. Next option to subscribe to the platform event is using the LWC module. Using Lightning Web Components also, you can subscribe to the platform event. And for that, you have to take the help of Lightning/EMP API module. If you want to subscribe to the platform event using the LWC, you have to take the help of Lightning/EMP API module, with the help of which you can provide the access to the methods for subscribing to the streaming channel, right? This EMP API module have the different methods. One is the subscribe, second one is the unsubscribe, third is the on error, set debug flag, and is EMP enabled. These methods are available on the EMP API module. With the help of these methods, you can subscribe to the streaming channel. Now, how to identify the streaming channel? The streaming channel for the platform event, it always starts with the event slash, right? In case you guys are following the series, let me know in the comment section what is the naming convention for the change data capture. In my change data capture series also I have explained the similar concept, but again the channel name for the change data capture series, it starts with something else. I'm expecting an answer in the comment section how we can name the change data capture channel. Next point here is the Lightning EMP API module is supported in desktop browsers only. It is not supported on the Salesforce mobile app. So you have to be very sure that for what kind of form factor or for what kind of device you are creating your Lightning web component. Because this EMP API module, it do supports only the desktop browser. It does not support the Salesforce mobile app. So folks, this is the quick revision. We can subscribe to the platform event using the flows. We can subscribe to the platform event using the triggers. In the trigger, we have to make sure that we are using the after insert trigger, right? And we can also subscribe it by using the Lightning Web Components. In the Lightning Web Component, we can take the help of EMP API module to subscribe to the platform event. Now let's move to the demo part where we will see all the things in action. In today's demo, I'll only be covering how you can subscribe to the platform event using the flow as well as using the trigger. In the next part, I will come up with a very detailed scenario, right? How you can subscribe to the platform event using the Lightning Web Component, right? So that time I will cover the Lightning Web Component in more detail, but in this part we will be more focused on how you can subscribe to platform event using the flows or using the triggers. So folks, this is the platform event that we have created in the previous part. The name of the event is the order detail, right? The API name, as I already highlighted, it always ends with underscore underscore e, right? And these are the two fields that we do have in the event. What we will be doing in the demo part, we will be publishing these events with the help of a postman tool, right? And after that, the next thing that we will be do here is we will subscribe to this event first by using the flow and second by using the trigger as well. So to do that, what I am doing here is I'm navigating to the setup menu, and here I'll be creating one flow. Okay, so here I am looking for the flow, opening the flow and taking the option of new flow. Right here you can see we do have the special type of a flow available, that is referred as the platform event triggered flow. As I highlighted, this flow will automatically launch whenever the platform event message is received, right? So this flow also comes under the category of auto launch flow as well. So here I'm selecting this and clicking on create. Now here you have to go and select the platform event. As I said, I do have the platform event with the name as order detail. So here I go and select the order detail platform event. Right? I have selected here the order detail platform event. Now what I want to do here is as soon as this event has been received, I want to create the task. So here I am taking the option of create records, and here I am putting the my logic to create the records. Here I go and put create task record, right? And here I want to create only one record, so I'm taking the option of one. I want to select the resources separately, so here I go and take this option of creating the task, right? Now here whatever the fields that we have to populate, we can populate all those fields one after the other. So here I am first populating the field as subject. Let me go and populate the subject here as, here I am hard coding the value. For example, publish platform event using flow, right? This is the value that I want to hard code here. Next field that I want to populate here, again the no needs of code, so I'm taking out the codes from here. Next thing that I want to populate here is the description. In the description, I want to populate the order ID details, right? Whatever the details that I am getting. So here you can see I do have this order details available here. So from here you can go and select whatever the fields that you want to. So here I want to populate the order number, right? So here I am putting that order number. Next thing, I also want to set, for example, a due date. So here for that I am selecting the field here as the activity date. I am setting this due date as the today's date. So from the flow I am taking here the current date. And the next thing here is, as I said, whenever we are working with the flow, we should make sure that we are populating the user correctly. And for that, I am populating here the owner ID as well. Again, I am taking the owner ID from the flow. And in the flow, I do have the okay, not here. Let me check where we do have this user details. Yeah, under the user record, we do have this user detail. And from here, I am getting the ID. Right, from here I am getting the ID, or if you want you can assign the specific user as well, but here I am assigning the user, or let me go and get the specific user. So to do that I am removing this from here and getting the user details. So for that I am taking the option of get record, and let me here put the get system admin user, and from the object I am selecting the user object, right? Okay, now here what condition that I have to specify, I have need to get the system admin user. So here I go and get it based on the username. equals to. So let me check the user details here. So here I go and navigate for the users, and let's say for this user I want to get the record. So here I am putting the username value, right? Now how many records you want? I want to get only first record. So all other things looks good to me. I am clicking on this here. Now I got the user detail. Now here I will go and populate that user detail. So opening this again and populating the owner ID field, and here I am getting that from the user that I have retrieved dot id. Right? If I'm not doing this by default, I will get the automated process user, and I want to assign this to the specific user. So I'm getting that specific user here. Okay, by we can write down any logic to fetch the user detail according to your business requirements, right? But this is the key thing that you should know, that you have to select the platform event trigger here, and after that here you can execute any business logic. Right now it looks good to me. Let me go and save this. I'm saving that as a subscribe platform event order detail, right? And clicking on save. Now let's go and publish this event. There are different ways to publish it, right? We already covered that in the past. But what I'm doing here is I'm publishing this with the help of the API. Again, in my previous sessions, I already covered how you can connect the postman with the Salesforce org. If you're not sure, you can definitely go over that videos to ensure you are doing that. And now I am doing the authorization here. Clicking on this, clicking on get new access token, getting the access token, clicking on proceed, selecting the option of use token. I believe I do have this variables set correctly already, so that's completely fine. Right now let's go and publish it. Again, one more thing that I am doing here is, which I already talked in my previous session, I am opening the streaming monitor and I'm subscribing to the events by using the streaming monitor as well. This is just for my validation only. So here I am taking the option of subscribe to the channel, taking the option of custom platform event, selecting the event name as the order detail and clicking on subscribe. Now let's go and publish it. To publish that, I'm expanding the rest folder, taking this option of S object create under the S object. Now here you can specify, if you navigate to the parameter, you can specify to which object you want to publish it. Again, as I said, I already covered this in detail, so I'm not going in more detail now. So here I'm simply putting the as object name, and after that under the body I'm populating the fields. So let me go and put here the first field as an order number, where I want to populate the ORD 1000, and the second field that I want to put here is the generate invoice. Make sure that you are putting a comma here and followed by the generate invoice. It's a boolean field, so I am passing here the value as true. Now let me go and click on send this. If the send is successful, we will get the result as operation enqueued. It is not coming as publish because it is an asynchronous operation. So we are getting here as operation enqueued. Let's navigate to the streaming monitor. You can see that my streaming monitor says that event has been received, and this is the event that we have received. We have also put some automation by using the flows, right? I believe we have also, okay. One thing I missed here is I have not activated the flow. So let me go and activate this flow here. Okay, this was a small mistake from my side. Now I have activated the flow. I am publishing the event one more time. This time, let's say I am putting the value as order 2000 and publishing it one more time. Right, again the operation is enqueued. My streaming monitor says that another event has been received. Now let's navigate and check whether the task is created or not. Right, so I am on my task object here. I am under the open task. You guys have to make sure that this is my filter list. You have to revalidate what is your filter list. Here I am seeing all the tasks in my filter list, right? So the task that we have created here is platform event. Okay, now let me go and refresh this first. Right, this is the task that we have created: publish platform event using flow. We have put the today's date as the due date, and also we have set the description as the order number. This is the order number that we have published, order 2000. You can see that a task has been created with the same order number, right? So this is how you can subscribe to the platform event using the flows. I hope it makes sense to you. Now we are moving to the next part where I will show you how you can subscribe to the platform event using the Apex trigger. So for the time being, I am deactivating this flow, right? And we will try to write down the same logic on the trigger as well. So here I am taking the option of Control Shift P, creating an Apex class, and let me name this Apex class here as the subscribe platform event. Here I go and open this. Now, as I highlighted in previously, whenever we have to subscribe it by using the Apex, we always go for the trigger. So I'm using this as an helper class, and now I am creating the trigger as well, because we generally don't write the logic in the trigger. So here I go and write down my trigger. I am naming that trigger here as the subscribe platform event trigger. Subscribe platform event trigger, right? So this is my trigger that I have created. Now here we have to make sure that I am putting the S object name as correct, right? What is the S object name that I have to put? My S object name here will be the name of the S name of the platform event, or the API name of the platform event, which is nothing but the order underscore detail underscore underscore E, right? And here the event must be the after insert event. You cannot use any other event here. And after that, here I go and put down my logic. Here I am checking that if trigger dot is after and trigger dot is insert, right? Then we will go and execute the logic. In the form of good practice, we don't write any business logic in the trigger. So here I am navigating to my helper class. So here I go and create one method, public static void after insert method, right? Here I do have this method here as an after insert, and this method is expecting a list of the platform event. So here I go and put the list of what is the event name. Again, I'm taking this from here, order detail, and let me put here the order detail platform event list, right? So what I will do here is, from my logic, I'm simply invoking this method. So here I do have this class as the subscribe platform event, and this is the method where I am passing the all the records. So here I go and pass the records by using the trigger dot name. Right, now job of my event is trigger is done. I have can go and build my logic the way I want in this Apex class. So what I am doing here is, first, again, like I have done previously, I am getting the user detail. So here I go and put user, let's say admin user is equal to select id from user, where username is equal to, so I am simply fetching those details. So here I go and get this username. I'm following the exact same steps whatever I have done in the flow. I am first getting the user detail. Once I do have my user detail, what I will do here is I will go and create the task. So here I go and define the list of tasks. It's always to handle the bulkification here. The reason being, in one batch we can fire the 2000 platform event, right? So in case we are getting multiple platform event, so we have to make sure that our code is bulkified, and that is the reason I am creating here this list collection And after that, what I will do here is I will start iterating over this. So here I go and put for order detail of order detail list, right? So I'm iterating over this collection variable. It is of type order detail. That's why I took in here order detail. You can give any variable name, and this is the collection that I wants to iterate. So what I have to do here is I have to go and create the task. So let me put here the task detail is equal to new task. Again, here you can go and populate the subject. So here I go and populate the subject here is equal to platform event subscribe using triggers. This time I'm subscribing it using the trigger. Just for my easy identification, I am putting that as well. Here under the description, again I am getting the details from the order detail. What detail I need to fetch here? Order detail dot. I want to get the order number. So this is where I do have my order number. So I am getting this order number here. Now the next thing, I'm also putting the user details as well. So here I go and put the user detail. So here I am putting the task detail dot owner ID is equal to, I already fetched the user detail. So here I am getting the admin user dot ID. The next thing, you can also populate the due date as well. So here I am putting the task detail dot activity date is equal to date dot today. I am putting the today's due date here, right? Once all the task detail has been populated, here I am adding the task. So here I do have the task list dot add followed by the task detail, right? Now I am checking here if my collection is empty or not, and after that I'll performing the DML operation. So here I am putting that if collection is not empty, then perform the DML operation, and for that I am using the try catch block. So here I go and put insert task list. In case of any exception, I am simply logging that exception. So system.debug task subs, creation failed, and here I am putting the error message ex.get message. Right? This is how we can go and subscribe to the platform event. But I just think we have to make sure that we are using the after insert event here. Here we have to put the platform event name. Now rest of the logic what we have written, it's a normal trigger logic, right? So here I go and first deploy my Apex class, and also I am here deploying the trigger as well. Okay, when it's failing, let me check why. Variable does not exist. Hmm. Right. Okay, let me go and try to deploy this one more time. Right now, this time it has been deployed successfully. Might be because the class was not created. That's why it was failing previously. But that's fine now. Let's go and validate this again. So again, I'm publishing the platform event. This time with the help of Postman. So this time I'm putting the order number as 5000 and publishing it one more time. Right, if I navigate to the streaming monitor, I can see that one more event has been received. And if I go here to the task list, right, let's go and refresh this list. You can see that I do have this platform event subscribe using the trigger. This task is also created, right? Our order number is also coming up here, right? And also we have put the owner ID as the system admin user. So you can see that these details are also coming up here. So this is how folks you can subscribe to the platform event using the trigger. right? How to write down the test class for this, I have already covered in the previous session, so I'm not repeating it one more time. Okay, if you want to understand how to write down the test classes, you can definitely go and revisit the part 3 to get more details on that. Okay, I hope you folks like this session and find this content helpful. Kindly let me know in the comment section your thoughts as well. Thank you. Have a good time.